Hey everybody, welcome back to Phase 2 of your HK SP5 experience. Let's dive right into the HK SP5 bolt group. Hey everyone, in my hand is the HK SP5 bolt carrier group. As part of your standard HK SP5 package, you get the absolute best, most modern SP5 bolt carrier group you could possibly get that was upgraded in 1998, known as the F model. The F model was designed for the French police, and to pass the test, 10 different guns were used that had to fire 40,000 rounds each for a total of 400,000 rounds, and no failures or stoppages were permitted. HK figured it out. They said, we're going to pass this test. And as part of it, they beefed up the recoil rod, they beefed up the bolt head, most noticeably in the roller lock retainer plate inside the bolt head, but you do get the F model bolt head. And of course, they did that also by upgrading the firing pin spring to the wire spring you see here. So this is the real deal, the best of the best in bolt carrier groups. The number one question I get from users is, how does the HK SP5 bolt carrier group differ from a standard mp5 bolt carrier group? Well, let me show you a quick reassembly of the bolt carrier group, and then let me show you the difference. Firing pin and spring go in first. Simply match up the locking piece with the little carve out right there. Give it a little counterclockwise turn to about that orientation. The bolt head will slide right on. Give it a little twist to where it's all lined up perfect, and that's all you got to do. Recoil spring slides right in and you're set. Just so happens right next to me, I've got a bolt carrier group from a full auto HK mp5F. The biggest difference, or the difference you're going to see, is because the HK SP5 is sold as a semi-automatic pistol. If you look at the bottom of the bolt carrier, you're going to see this is what's known as a semi-auto bolt carrier. And it differs from the full auto bolt carrier that you see right here. On this side, you will see the difference, that it's milled out and there's not metal on the SP5 bolt carrier to trip the trip lever on a full auto gun as needed on a full auto bolt carrier. So this is a full auto bolt carrier group. This is a semi-auto bolt carrier group, and it's distinguished on the bottom of the bolt carrier. Bolt heads are the same. Bolt carriers are different. You'll notice that the bolt carrier, in terms of the configuration and the look on the top, all the same, everything's the same. One thing I do want to point out, the HK SP5 ships with the standard enhanced F model recoil spring assembly, as you see here, and it differs from the one I changed out here on this F bolt carrier group. This one's designed for more of a high power cartridge for the French police. This is designed for the standard 9mm non-plus P or high powered round. So why is this important? I want to point this out. For most people, it's never going to be a big deal. For somebody who may be loading some soft 9mm rounds for competition, you may actually want to consider swapping out, not because it's bad, but you may end up wanting to swap out to a standard 9mm recoil spring assembly, simply because the one you get with your standard SP5 is the most modern, most enhanced, most robust recoil spring assembly on the planet for an HK mp5. All right, 2 lessons is about it for tonight. I wanted to get some information out there and hopefully answer some of the questions that exist on the popular HK SP5 already. As a final note and a sign off for tonight, I want to basically answer a question. Why HK? Why maybe pay more than some of the less expensive, or we'll say cheap clones that exist? Well, the cheap clones aren't HK. Why HK? Well, at HK, every single firearm is tested. Standard testing on an MP5 is 30 rounds fired through the gun, proof, accuracy, and function. Every gun that comes out of the factory is tested for proof, accuracy, and function. What does proof mean? Being able to handle overcharged rounds. What does function mean? That the firearm's going to work. What does accuracy mean? That this gun can shoot an accurate round at your target. Not 1 in 100, not 1 in 50, not 1 in 10. Every single firearm at HK is tested in our Oberndorf facility to be the best. On top of that, HK is known for their barrel technology. HK produces the best cold hammer forged barrels on the entire planet. Folks, all you need to do is Google search some of the HK barrels that have handled squib rounds, that have basically been credited to saving lives, limb, eyesight, you name it. That these barrels haven't exploded on people. These are the hardest, the best, the most rigid, the most durable, the most lasting barrels on the planet. There is no clone manufacturer using a non-HK barrel that can even compare to your HK SP5. So when you start hearing people talk about price and whining about expense and this and that, if you don't want a firearm that's going to outlast you, go cheap, go whatever, sacrifice. But life's too short, ladies and gentlemen. Buy the best, buy something that will outlast you. HK SP5 for the win.